In the previous video, we built the composite and positioned all the layers in 3D space, including a layered Photoshop file. Let's start off by importing a 3D model. And we'll conclude the action walkthrough by adding some finishing touches such as lighting and camera movement. I'll go back to the action node bin and double-click on the import node again. This time in the file browser, I'll change the pull-down to FBX. This format is one of the Autodesk 3D model interchange formats. This format can be exported from most 3D applications currently available. Selecting the FBX logo imports it into Action. A new set of nodes has appeared in the Action schematic, and the model can be seen in the result viewer. Now I'd like to position the 3D model at the same coordinates as the original flat logo. All of the position coordinates of the flat logo are in its axis node. To apply the same coordinates to the 3D model of the logo, simply click and drag a connection from one axis node to the other. You will see the 3D model snap to the flat logo in the result viewer. If you want, you could also select the original axis node of the 3D model and offset it like I did with the graphic layers from the Photoshop file. You can now select the image node of the flat logo and press H to hide it. This is just a quick example of what you can accomplish using Action. You could also retexture the 3D model, as well as create your own 3D text with any font you want. So go ahead and explore at your own pace. Having a look at the result view, you might notice artifacts, either in the layers or on the edges of the layers. The objects in the 3D composite are sitting in 3D space, but the 3D renderer is confused about the render order of the objects. To resolve this issue, switch to the priority menu. This shows you all the objects in your composite in the current render order for the 3D action renderer. To fix any issues with incorrect render order, press the Z sort button. You can now see how the edges have been fixed. The last few things before setting up the render settings are the lights and camera. Let's quickly place one light into the scene. In the Action node bin, double-click on the light node. A light object is added to the composite, and you can grab it and move it around the result viewer. Select the Action schematic viewer and switch the menu to the 3D Views top view, or press Shift-4 as a keyboard shortcut. Going into the Object menu, the light's position can be pulled closer to the camera, either with the position slider or directly in the top view. Change the light color by clicking on the color pot and going slightly off-white. Secondly, I'll adjust the light spread to create a spotlight. You might want to reposition the light to cover the area with the spot. So you can totally stylize the look and feel of your composite by experimenting with lights. To finish the composite, let's animate the camera. Go to the first frame and turn on Auto key. I'll zoom out the top view using Control Option and drag to see the camera. You can click and drag the camera, and the result viewer will update with any adjustments you make. Scrubbing to the last frame and adjusting the camera will keyframe the animation. So there you have it. A composite mixed with flat images, a Photoshop file, and a 3D model. Let's quickly set up the render settings for Connect Effects to ensure a high-quality render. The first setting you have to adjust is anti-aliasing. This is the smoothness of the edges in the composite, particularly rotating objects and 3D models. You have two choices depending on your hardware configuration. Switch to the Connect Effects preferences. If you have a semi-decent graphics card, then you can enable hardware anti-aliasing and the graphics card does the work. Alternatively, if you switch into the Action node preferences under the Rendering tab, you can set software anti-aliasing. If you want to preview any one of the settings you have chosen, you can click the preview button in the menu bar above the main controls. The final setting you have is whether you have motion blur on or off for this composite. You have control over samples per frame and shutter speed. Just be aware that you can animate this, so you may want to turn off Auto Key before trying different settings. Once you're happy, press the Layout Home button to return to the Connect Effects default layout. Now you can keep adding node effects after action and carry on building on top of what has been created in action. To render, you can select the CFX output node and press the Render button. Or you can exit Connect Effects and do your render in the sequence. More action videos will be added to the Smoke Learning channel at a later date. In the next video, we move away from video and concentrate briefly on the audio and some of the tools available in the sequence.